So like there's circumstances that, like in my case, I said I was raised by foster parents. Okay, so I didn't have a choice there, right? 1.5 or whatever, when my mom and dad got divorced, I wake up, I'm with some strangers. Okay, good. So the early bitterness, we could justify that a little bit. But after a while, it wasn't what they did, was it? After a certain point, you can't keep, man, I can't believe, they raised my other brothers and sisters, they left me with strangers. Okay, you get away with that to a point. But as you get older, you're living out what you did, right? Ain't that right? But it seems like you hear a lot of conversation, people are dealing with stuff and they go, well, I would be fulfilling purpose, but they did this. Yeah, I was a singer, but ever since he hurt me, I vowed I'd never sing again. So let me get this right. You're punishing him by you never singing again. And he's sitting at the crib going, man, I just cannot go to work or do anything because she won't sing no more. That's what he's thinking about at the crib, right? I mean, like every time he drives to work, oh, I just feel this nagging pain. I wish he starts singing. Is that what's going on? He ain't thinking about you. I mean, he probably didn't even realize he hurt you because he wasn't thinking about you then. He was thinking about himself. Or she was thinking about herself. And so it's amazing, like, we're living out this despair and we're blaming everybody else. They were wrong, but you still have choice. They didn't take your choice. They took your comfort. They might have stolen a little bit of your trust, but they didn't take your choice, and they didn't take your life. Right? All right, so all right, let me just stay focused. All right, so it's amazing how when we do wake up, we thirst for truth, and when we start thirsting for truth, we'll realize we've been living among lies. Some of them we've told ourselves. But if we embrace the truth, you may not make many friends living in truth, but guess what? You'll make many free.
That's good.
And that's the tough thing. It's like, the truth is, everybody not really wanting to hear all that truth. No one wants to. The truth don't have like a bunch of people crowding at the truth. You know how like you go to, around here they got like different people move from different places. So you got the Pittsburgh people. We was in Florida. They had, I didn't realize the bar was called, it sold food, and it was like Max and Irma's, but they call it Foxborough. Why? New England Patriots. They was in Florida. So everybody in this place, I couldn't find a place to see the Cowboys. So I said, well, I think there's a place down there where they watching the game. I went in there. I was like, why am I wearing New England stuff? Because it was Foxborough, you know what I'm saying? So it was all about the Patriots. So I'm the only one in there. They gave me one TV to watch the Cowboys, right? So it wasn't a popular place for a Cowboy fan, right? Well, look at truth as a place where somebody's hanging out. You got the Truth restaurant. You don't see like it's not packed. The parking lot's not packed. Like it's not a whole lot of people in the parking lot, right? But it's a powerful thing to start embracing truth because you're free, and you'll notice people are free around you. See, to live a lie, you're binding up yourself, but you're binding up the people around you because, like, I'm designed to disperse particular things to Melanie Bradley. But if she's living a lie, I can't release what God gave me because, one, she's not placing a demand on it because she's not in truth. And then I'm not thinking, I'm looking to where I'm supposed to disperse it, but she would be living a lie. You understand what I'm saying? She's not in her design. Like we're not functioning in a healthy relationship, because to be in harmony, she would have to be the true her and I have to be the true me. So she's carrying around the baggage from all the other people. That's going to come between us. So we can never connect, because she's dealing with me like she's making me pay for what they did. Like she's taking a stand, attitude and everything. Now she didn't do that with them. They get a pass, but I pay. Like, so you feel like I should have done that to them. So I'll just try it out on Keith. Like, but I ain't do nothing. So we're not really functioning correctly. Does that make sense? All right, so acknowledging hurt is the first step towards comfort. This is something Robert McGee said in The Search for Significance. So acknowledging hurt is the first step for comfort. Let's go to Matthew 5. So not pretending. I'm okay. I'm fine. It's all right. Look, Matthew 5:4. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Those that acknowledge their fact that they've lost something that's had an effect on them. And it says that they shall be comforted. Not that they're going to be happy and doing cartwheels, but again, if God shows up to comfort you and you go, I'm okay, then you don't need comfort, right? But you do need comfort. So acknowledging the hurt is the first step. All right, and then and so what that does is that helps us to release some strongholds. See, a lot of times, many times, we're so used to being bound, we feel it's okay. Like we feel it's okay to live with being bound, to live with. I said this before. Some of y'all came in. How one year the Lord told me to take back my choices, and He was telling me like I'm not even making my choices. Other people are making my choices, but I'm carrying them out. And so you get to a point where you'll start to live like it's okay to live without choice. Even though Deuteronomy 30 says God set before you life and death, blessings, curses. He said choose life. So whom the Son sets free is free indeed. So God freed you, but then somebody else is trying to bind you. And you can get so used to that, you won't make your choices. Other people make your choices. Your whole family will make your choices. Well, I really didn't want to go to the Thanksgiving gathering, but if I don't go, such and such is going to be mad, and everybody else is going. But now, is that something you're choosing to do, or is something that you feel bound to do? I know for a period of time, there's certain things. This was around the time when I was taking back my choices. I told you I was messing everybody up because I'm a compliant guy by nature. So I like complying. I like being approved just like everybody else. But since I'm living for God now, it's kind of throwing off everybody's flow. So I was just like, I would call people up and say, no, me and my wife we're not going to be making it this year. And with no explanation. Well, because there is no explanation. Because no matter what you say, that's not going to be good enough anyway, right? Like, what explanation could you give? Because the thought is, what else could you possibly be doing but do what we do every year? You couldn't possibly be thinking outside of what we do. I know this is going to mess some people up when they see this video, but love you. All right, but that's what I was doing. I was telling my wife. My wife's like, so what are you going to say? I said, I'm going to say we're not going to make it. She says, well, what if they ask you why? We're just not going to be able to make it. And what I told her is I said, well, we was working so hard, and you guys go through this. You work so hard through the course of a year. So when the holiday comes around, the thought is what? I get to relax and rest. But if you think about it, in a lot of situations, it's worse because during a holiday, now you have to keep up with, I make sure I don't say this because they're going to get offended. Well, make sure I come up doing right. Make sure I be there, show up on time, do this, do that. You're so busy trying to dot your I's and cross your T's. Was it a holiday? So now you don't work to rest and you use your vacation time to work 5 times as hard as you did when you was at work. Something's wrong with that, right? That's not healthy. And you're not against anyone. You're just exercising choice. Because guess what? They are. They're exercising choice. They're exercising their choices and yours. All right, okay. I know this is going to challenge some folk. All right, so we don't want to run from fulfillment and responsibility. So consider this. God is trying to take you somewhere, and what could be distracting you could be all right, so this is the best way I can explain it. So God is taking you here. So you wake up and he's like, okay, God, I got this thing together. This is what God is leading me to do. Oh man, I was just carrying so much stress and weight, but I'm on it now. I know exactly what I need to do. Got momentum going. Now, all of a sudden there's a family expectation or a friend expectation or someone that's normally they figured out a way to manipulate and control you. You know, they're making their choices for you. So now you was kind of rolling, but your default has always been to comply. So now you have to make a choice. Do I press through and keep being free, or do I conform? Do I go back? Because you're closer to conformity than you are to transforming, right? So it's going to be hard because everything in your flesh will be like, man, so what if they say this? Then what you gonna do? Everybody gonna be talking about you. I'm telling you that right now. You don't want to deal with everybody talking about you. You're just gonna be bound a little longer. What's the big deal? That's what the adversary is telling you. Right? And so now your distractions aren't, I'm on the wrong road. Or I'm getting high, I'm hanging out, I'm getting drunk out of my mind. Your distractions are now doing what they say versus what God says. Pleasing them at the expense of pleasing God. God's been waiting for you to get on this road for the longest. God's excited. He's excited. The angels like, whoa, it's sweet. Oh yeah, then we rolling now. Where you going? No. Keep going that way. What are you doing? Why would you even come back down here? Are we going to go through this again? You know how you talk to people and, they was in a relationship. And while they was in a relationship, they got intoxicated. They got infatuated. The cuddle hormone hit them. And before you know it, it's got to be the one. And everybody's saying, well, you really want to think it through. Well, y'all just don't want me to be happy. Right, so then it turns out it's like we talked about earlier, it's a crash. You get flipped over, right? So now you flipped over, and everybody's telling you, this is what I was trying to tell you. The person was going to flip you over, crash you. So it's okay. We could heal you, get you back on the road. And you go, I just should have been listening. I don't know what I was thinking. So then 2 days later, you're like, well, you know what? They're really a good person. Once they get themselves together. And they've been through a lot in life. And I just want to help them. That's all. I just want to help them. Because they're not really that bad. Y'all need to give them a chance. And so you find yourself right back in the same situation. But what has changed? Nothing. You want to tell yourself it's different. So what you did was you was like, okay, there's only one I can stay in this thing. I got to come up with a reason, right? I have to create a stronghold in my mind so the truth does not stop me from complying to what I've been doing. So you tell yourself a lie because you don't want to deal with the truth. Because the truth hurts. Think about like when you were... most of us are older here, but think about 12. Try your hardest to think of 12. Because 12 is real significant. Because you're coming out of that adolescence and you're a step away from teenager. And you start to think about some things. Like,